been involved in this experimental program now to release grizzly bears back to the wild through Northern Lights for about 3.5 or 4 years now. The 4 bears that we released in this particular trip makes 8 now. One of the key elements in a rehabilitation process where you're raising these cubs for release back to the wild is that you need to minimize their contact with humans. Peter is able to go into the pen with them. They recognize him. They're able to discriminate between people just like we can. We don't allow cameras in the enclosure, so we've asked Peter to wear a head mounted camera, and that goes a long ways towards reducing the stress that the bears are feeling. He still has to be very cautious because they are wild animals, they are dangerous animals. This was a particularly challenging operation for us because there were 4 bears that needed to be moved, and the environmental conditions were not exactly optimal. It was raining, the ground was wet and muddy, slippery. The bears were quite large, and so it was very difficult to physically handle them. These drugs are only effective for a certain length of time, and so we had to actually work very quickly to get all the bears processed before the drugs lost their effectiveness, and get them into their transport cages. You know, a 400-pound yearling grizzly bear is an extremely large grizzly bear. And this unit up here is the GPS unit, and this is what takes the most precise location data and then transmits it to a this is also has the satellite communication device in it, so it'll communicate with the Iridium satellite system. You can actually get the location data downloaded to your computer at home and in your office for every 4 hours, you know, for as long as this collar is functional, which makes it very nice. So these collars give you the information almost real time, and whereas the old collars did not do that. Actual land transport for these bears was over 14 hours. So we drove throughout the night to arrive here in Bella Coola the following morning for the release. So each of the bears had to be placed in an individual transport box. The bears were brought over, tranquilized again, removed from the covert traps, and then placed on a single sheet of plywood, which allowed us to carry the bears in a cargo net underneath the helicopter in a very safe manner. Terrain here in the Bella Coola area is incredibly beautiful, but it's also great habitat. It has incredible spawning streams for salmon, critical food supply for coastal bears. There's a lot of shrub fields on the slopes above the salmon streams where the bears will feed on berries. this particular site that was picked here in Bella Coola is an excellent site. It's an incredible thing to be involved in. I can't think of anything that really is more rewarding to me than giving these orphaned bears another chance at survival in the wild.